Hey everybody, I am Veronica Drake and I am all about keeping stuff really simple and really practical, especially when it comes to spirituality, psychic and mediumship included. So why am I here? Today I want to talk to you about how it's possible for me to channel all of the people that I channel on Channeling Erik. So those of you that know me from Channeling Erik, you know that Erik is a 20-year-old spirit guide, and he is constantly with me. He's in my ear. When I feel Erik is right here. I usually have to tell him to back up, dude, give me some space. But I also want to share an inside tip with you on how Erik and I work together. So for instance, when I'm going to interview Anthony Bourdain, Charles Manson, Alan Watts, anybody that I'm going to interview, prior to the interview, usually 24 hours prior to the interview, I sit down, I get silent, and I connect with Erik. And Erik and I have a chat. And what gets to happen is we get to decide how we're going to bring forward the guest. And so typically what I like to do is say, Erik, this is who we're interviewing. We dialogue about the person a little bit. Sometimes I don't know anything about the person, and Erik will give me a couple of insightful tips. But what Erik will do then is he will then connect with this person, and he will essentially, think of it like this, take them into a holding room. So if you were going to watch a TV show, a talk show, they have what's called a green room, where they take the guests and they wait until it's their turn to come on to the show. Well, this is kind of like what Erik does for me. He goes, he fetches the guests, and he puts them in a space where they are easily acceptable. I feel their frequency because Erik and I have talked about what it's going to feel like, how I know I'm connecting, and the interview goes from there. So it's not just me sitting in front of the screen going, okay, Alan Watts, come on, come on. Alan has been spoken to, if you will, before it happens. I want to be clear, no research, just Erik and V conversation, and then Alan Watts, just to reference the last video, is put on standby. So that's how the process happens. So if you've had questions and wondering how does it work, there you go. I'd like to answer any of your questions about the processes that I have with Erik. If you have further questions, send them to support@veronicadrake.com and I'll tell you how the process works. In the meantime, if you want to learn how to do this yourself, you need to go to the School of Spiritual Arts. Yeah, that's my online school. Erik helped me create it. It's a school where I teach simply and practically how you too can communicate with the other side. Very hands-on, lots of experiential exercises. And one last note, if you are wanting a reading with me and Erik, you need to get in there and get advantage of the spring special, veronicadrake.com. And the spring special is when you book 45 minutes with me, you get access, admitted to 2 free 90-minute group readings, one in May and one in June. And you have the ability to learn from everybody in the group. I'm going to be doing readings and maybe I'll take your question. But even if I don't, they're still learning. So that's it. veronicadrake.com. And don't forget, if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends, share me. Let's make this go global.